Welcome back to another episode. In the previous video, we installed this stove right here and got all of the propane lines all tied off. In today's episode, we're gonna be working on the water system, getting all those lines tied together, getting the water hopefully running and pressure tested. But we're not only gonna be doing it inside the cabinet in this bus. My good friend Dale, as many of you know, came up to visit for the summer and he's living in Navi. But I had to remove Navi's water system this winter to make sure that nothing froze. So we actually have to go put that one back together as well. So we're gonna be doing the water system in here and getting that one up and running. Let's go find Dale. Dale, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to help Rachel out.
I found Dale. He's currently hanging a tarp that I'm gonna help him hang. Probably didn't actually mention this on here. Rachel, my sister, she got ducks. And this is the duck pen that we're building for her. Right now they're little, they're only a few weeks old. Hey guys, Dale's hanging a tarp for you. That one's Merv, that one's Cooper. We do build buses around here. We're gonna fix the water system, but in the background, I guess Rachel's starting a farm on me. Hey Rach, I was just coming over to show the water system in Navi and find Dale, and I found Dale putting the tarp up for your ducks.
Dale, you're too kind, thank you. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, we just need some of the zip ties and done.
I also kind of introduced Merv and Cooper, but I told him that you would give him a proper introduction.
Well, that's okay. They're cool. They like you, so it's okay. I'll allow it.
All right, let me just say one thing real quick. See, this is a sign of a good supervisor.
What's that?
Because, well, when he walked up, I was actually beginning the job, but he finished it.
That is a good supervisor.
Jeez, Dale.
You know how to do it.
I hope you enjoyed a quick detour in duck time with Rachel, but that's all set up. It's gonna rain, so we gotta head to get that tarp up. We're gonna be building a coop for them in a few weeks as they get older, and we're gonna move them out of the shed. But back to the water system. So Navi last year, I pulled the pump out right there and then blew the lines out, but there's no water. We wanna get Dale water as well. So we gotta fix this guy. Well, not really fix. We just have to reinstall the pump and get that working. We know the water system here, water system over in Ivan. So the first thing to do is get these ducks back in their pen. All right, well, I got all the supplies out and ready to go. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I wanna start with this water inlet and connect it from here to the water tank that's inside. One thing that I did wrong, essentially, we talked about it in a previous video, I'll link it up here if you wanna check it out, is I put that fill line too low, so it's actually lower than the tank. So you can see that the fill's right here, the tank's right here. If I were to just fill it using just a gravity fill, the tank would actually only fill this high. So what I'm gonna be doing is running a city fill line from here up to this location. The pressure of the city fill will fill it all the way up to this location, but it needs a check valve so that the water won't backflow out when I'm actually filling it. I'm very lucky and fortunate here that the unit that I bought already has a built-in check valve, so I don't have to add one. So all I'm gonna be doing is connecting my lines from here to here, putting an air line in, and then that will be working right on there. Then all I gotta do is get the air line put in so that it will not pressurize the system when the tank's filling. Otherwise we'll be filling it and the air inside the tank has nowhere to go. That wouldn't be good. So we'll get that line put in and then we'll have our entire fill system done. And then I gotta finish up all of this mess that's in here of like the water heater, the sink inlets, the faucets, the stuff and the crap and the deal and the stuff and the deal, and you get the project. Well, I got the water inlet into the top of the tank, and then I just put this airline in, which is just going back out to the airline gasket that was already on the inlet. I am already realizing one issue that I'm probably going to have in this that isn't going to be solved by having a check valve down here, is that the water is going to flow in, and that's fine because it can't go back out. All good to go. We solved that problem, but this airline is going to be releasing air from the top of the tank, so the tank doesn't obviously pressurize, but then the outlet is all the way down here, so that in the event of water sloshing or if I overfill the tank, it's gonna end up pouring out of this valve and then coming out here, which will then go outside the bus. It's not gonna like rot the bus out or cause any type of water damage, but I do have the potential of losing a certain percent of water, probably very low, but still a certain percent of water. What do you think, Dale? You think we should put some water into it?
I don't know what to tell you. If you say it's ready to go, it's ready to go. Let's fill it up and test it out.
All right, I'm gonna go get the hose so I can get to the outside and try to start filling it, and Dale is gonna stay inside the bus and watch to make sure there's no leaks. So if we hear Dale yelling in the background, it means there's probably a leak and we should stop filling it.
It means it's Dale getting all wet and not Mike.
Yeah, that means Dale's getting soaked from all the water leaking, and that Dale's gonna start yelling at me. How's it going?
Looks good in here.
It's working?
Seems to be.
What? Air's coming out the air valve. Water's going in. No leaks. Means we got water going in the tank. First task of the day is success. So Dale, how did you think that test went?
I'm not all wet, so I'm happy. On this that you were talking about here.
Yeah.
Explain to me why you can't just put an elbow going up and come out with PEX line that's rigid, run it across the top of the countertop, down here, over here, and then out there. But if the water sloshes, it's got to fill this 6 or 8 inches of pipe before you'd actually lose any water.
Oh, so you're saying like make like a mini trap almost?
Yeah, I mean, because it would, it would have to go up 6 inches or whatever before you would ever get it to where it would have to drain back out.
I understand what you're like.
But at least that way this hose is out of the way.
I like that idea.
Just come up, over, down.
All right, Dale just pretty much saved the day on the airline thing. We're gonna give it a try. So I was previously talking about how the airline I put in, Dale just came up with a solution. Yeah, see, Dale.
That's why I get paid the big bucks.
I know, this is why you're here. This is why you're here. I think that's a way better solution of what we got going on right now. And so thank you, Dale.
For $2 worth of parts, if it doesn't work, we take it out and come up with something else.
I like that.
Remember, man, no problems, only solutions.
So test did work, but we're gonna actually switch out that line and, clean it up a bit. Then we'll move on to doing the other parts of the plumbing. Dale, we finished your modification. Think it's gonna work. You can actually see what we were talking about now. It's all come inside the cabinet. So we got our airline right here, and it goes up even farther than Dale even suggested. I brought it all the way up to the top of the cabinet. Comes over, back around into our airline, and then back out. And the hope is that when the water sloshes, it's not obviously gonna hopefully slosh up about 8 inches or more over and then down. Still gives us our air release, but, kind of solves a bit of that water problem. So thanks again, Dale. I've kind of realized that a lot of this video is pretty much going to just take place in this cabinet. I hope we all are enjoying just hanging out in a cabinet all day. It's like cabinet time with Mike and Dale. Don't forget about Dale.
Luckily, I'm sitting here thinking outside the box, so.
The next thing that we're going to be working on is I already had the pump, the accumulator, the filter system already in. So now I have this outlet right here that is going to be our main kind of just pumping from the tank. This now has to go into our cold water for the shower and sink. And it's also going to get diverted off into the water heater, which we're going to be using an electric water heater. And then from there, obviously, we'll tee off into our red lines, which are our hot lines, sink, shower. We're good to go. got the water lines, you know, kind of mocked up. I didn't actually put the PEX rings on yet and actually crimp it through. It's just dry fit right now. So we've got our water line coming in from our accumulator over to here. It diverts up into the shower, goes that direction to the shower, which is right there. And then this one is gonna go to our sink. This line goes over to our heater, out the other side, back, and then it goes into this pipe, which is behind the blue one if you can see it. That goes off to the shower, and then once again, that's gonna go straight up into the sink. So now that I know everything fits, you know, I can put the PEX rings on, get it all finalized and tied down, and then all I gotta do is get these two off into the sink area, and then we're pretty much good to go. Water system is done for now. The water system down in that cabinet is completely tied together. All of these stuff is crimped. So now, let me grab one of these. The last thing I have to do is I need to plug these. So I bought some little plugs. We can cap both of these so that then we have no missing places in our air line. So when we pressure test the system to make sure there's no leaks, we'll know that everything up until the shower diverter and then actually connecting the sink into these sink on-offs is gonna be great to go. So I gotta go find a bicycle pump or an air tank or something that I can plug into that valve back there, and then we can pressurize this thing, and hopefully it pressurizes. Got anything witty to say, Dale?
No, damn near nap time, so I'm just keeping it on the down low. Why are you still filming? Why are you still filming?
It looks like the entire system is holding pressure. When I turn this valve, it's gonna spray the camera. Yep, there you go. So we got all our pressure held. I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes and watch the gauges and make sure that the stuff blows out of here. So if you see smoke, not smoke, like water vapor getting blown out of this line, after 5 minutes, we know we're all good to go. All right, Dale. At this point, the Ivan water system has tested out. It's held pressure, we don't have any leaks. So now the next thing that we're gonna be doing on this bus is we're gonna eventually be putting the sink in the next video and then connecting them down to those lines. And then eventually we'll move into the bathroom, which is right here. And then we put the shower diverter in and we're on to that. The plan was that Dale's here now and I was gonna get this as far as I could go before we put the sink in. And now we gotta head over to Navi and go get Dale's water system working in that bus. And while we're doing that, I wanted to show you a little bit of the differences of the way that I did this system versus how I did Navi 4 years ago. All right, welcome to Navi. If you don't know Navi, this is my bus that I lived in for 4 years. I traveled all over America, Alaska, Key West, California, all the way up to Maine. And this was my home. And at this point now, it's Dale's home for the summer. And when Dale's not living in it, this bus is used by my family. We go on family trips. I let friends use it. But, you know, little quick look. Here's Navi. And now what we're gonna do is go back inside a cabin because this entire video is pretty much just us hanging out in cabinets and looking at the water system that I put in Navi about 5 years ago. So what we're gonna be doing here is pretty simple. I removed the water pump before winter because what I didn't want to happen since no one was using the bus this winter was to have this system freeze up. So I can remove the components, I cleared the lines out, and then we were good to go. Dale, welcome home.
Good to be here. What you doing there, Michael?
The plumber's arrived. He's gonna get your water working.
Oh, that's great. I'll be able to wash the dishes and do my unmentionables, so I appreciate it.
I got the pump installed and we got the wiring in, but you're gonna hear something real quick. And this is something that I didn't do on this bus. But there's no water in the tank right now, so When these two wires connect, it's gonna activate the pump, which is automatically gonna try to self-pressurize. It's not gonna be able to. One of the issues is that once I connect that wire, this pump's just gonna keep running until it finds its pressure. The problem is there's no on-off switch right here. The only way to turn it off is actually unplugging this fuse, which is in the back of the bus. But when you live in a bus and you live in small spaces and things need to be accessible, you want to modify the way you do things. It doesn't make as much sense to have a locked away utility closet. It would have been a lot better just to put an on-off switch right here. So for right now, I don't have a switch to put in there. I probably should have thought to order one so that we could have put one in right now. But the goal is to get the water working for Dale. So what I'm gonna do is fill the water tank enough so that the pump will be able to pressurize itself. It will turn itself off. And then as long as Dale, you don't run the tank out, you know, we should be fine.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I know where the hose is. If the tank runs out, I'll just put more water in it. Can I fill the tank up and just stay till it runs out?
Yes, you can do that, Dale. You're more than welcome. Man, it is pouring rain today. Quite apropos that we're working on water systems and all it is just rain on us all day long. So I put the hose in outside and kind of locked it in as best as I could, but you can see that the water's flowing in through this pipe and down into the tanks below the bus. We've got our air line right here that can go down and then lets the air come back out so we don't pressurize the tanks in. And then this blue line over here is what actually pulls it out from the pump and then pumps it out into the system. Now you can hear the system pressurizing. Look at that.
Woo-hoo! It's alive!
What? Look at that, Dale! Dang. Oh no, Dale! Oh! Oops. Apparently, I never turned the water off a year ago from when I originally was taking a shower, and now I just soaked the bathroom and the floor because the curtain wasn't up. Bad news is, just soaked the floor. Good news is, water system works great. I mean, at least it works. I better go get some towels now. Sorry, Dale, I just ruined your house.
Oh, man. That's what, you know, fortunately I have a good landlord, and I'm sure as soon as I call him and complain about it, he'll have a repairman out here. Come in.
Housekeeping.
Are you here to clean the mess up?
Yeah, I got some towels for you.
The damn plumber ain't worth a darn.
The plumbing ain't worth a darn in this thing.
No, it's the plumber.
Oh, the plumber isn't worth a darn. The floors are clean, water system now works, everything's tested out, and now what I want to do is quickly, we'll go outside. I'm going to explain how the water systems run in Navi, and then why I did it differently, very little differently, but for a main reason differently in Ivan. All right, so walking outside of the bus, so this is where the water fill is, and the water pump and everywhere we were just working is directly behind this window here. But the water lines, if you notice, the sink and the shower are actually on the other side of the bus. And that's where my mistake was a long time ago, because what I had to do was I ran the water lines all the way down here. We can say hi to the ducks quick. Hey guys, what's up? The water lines came all the way back into the back of the bus, which we can try to get into. Oh, the duck pen's kind of in the way. There we go. All right, so it came all the way back here to the water heater, which is in the back of the bus, close to the shower. This instant hot water heater is about 5 feet from the shower and about 8 feet from the sink, which means every time I want hot water, I have to run 5 feet of line of cold water to get hot, which is just a waste of water. It's not wrong, it's just, you could do it more efficiently. The shower is right here, so there's the 5 feet. Then I have to run another cold and hot line up to here where the sink is. The water lines are just running very far. And what that does is it does a couple things. It makes me have to run a lot of water to get to my sink when I want hot water or to my shower. And also it just causes a lot of potentials for things to go wrong. Because if something were to freeze in that entire section, it'd be really hard for me to find where it was. Whereas in Ivan, the big difference, which you could probably already tell, is that everything is right here in one cabinet. The fill's right here, our airline's right here, our tank is right here, our pumps, our systems, our heaters, and the sink is only 5 inches away, and the shower is 30 inches through a cabinet. In this case, I don't have to waste a lot of cold water to get hot water to the shower or to the sink, and I don't have to worry about any of this freezing because it's in an open cabinet that's open to the rest of the bus. So if the bus is warm, this cabinet will be warm, and that takes away a lot of the issues that I found that I had in Navi. Hey Dale.
Hey.
Is there any like 1 or 2 things that you would say from your experience living on the road that you would find helpful to share?
Well, I would say the first thing you need to do is check out your help, because the cleaning service didn't do a real good job in here. And since you're here and you own this place, you've all of a sudden turned on lights that I have no idea how to turn off. So I need to get a little bit more of a tutorial. In the Slacker box, I don't have the accumulator on it, but I would suggest putting one of those on, and that will relieve that throbbing you sometimes get in your pressure system, because that accumulator builds up the pressure and keeps it constant going in. So I think that's a good idea. After watching Mike with the PEX, I would definitely, in the Slacker bus, we'll be definitely using PEX. I use just regular PVC in the Slacker. The longer you go, technology changes all the time. It's just like with the solar.
But, well, we got Dale's water system working at this point. Ivan's system is put together, and in the next video, we're going to be putting the sink and faucet system into Ivan and get that whole thing finally done. So, now that Dale's got some water, you know, I think, Dale, it's time for you to start cooking dinner or something, and we'll see you next time.